America and China. Washington has threatened to impose sanctions on China if the new security laws are not withdrawn by China. China, in fact, has now warned the United States of countermeasures over trading threats. Beijing has said that it will take, quote-unquote, every necessary measure to protect its interests. U.S. National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien warned that the new law could cost the city the preferential trading status. China has warned other countries against interfering in Hong Kong, but the United States is pushing ahead with its diplomatic offensive. The Trump administration is likely to receive bipartisan support for any measures aimed at upholding Hong Kong's autonomy. On Sunday, National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien rallied the American public against China's new security laws. He asked Americans to keep an eye on the pro-democracy protests in the city-state. O'Brien expressed solidarity with the protesters and urged China to reconsider its move.
Thank you all very much. Have a great day. They want the rule of law in Hong Kong. They want to be able to worship as they see fit. All of that could potentially be taken away if the Chinese Communist Party insists on ramming this national security law through. So, look, our hearts are with them. We hope for the best, and we strongly encourage China, the mainland China, not to impose this law on Hong Kong. If they do, I can't see Hong Kong remaining an Asian financial center the way it has been for many, many years.
The last statement from O'Brien is especially important. He says that Hong Kong will not remain the financial center of Asia if China goes ahead with this national security law proposal. This can be interpreted as a direct warning of economic sanctions on China and Hong Kong. Back in 2019, the U.S. Congress passed a law to protect Hong Kong's autonomy. The Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act was backed by Democrats and Republicans alike. The law requires the U.S. government to impose sanctions on Hong Kong and China if the city's autonomy is violated. The U.S. State Department is also supposed to conduct an annual review of the political situation in Hong Kong. This review will determine the future of diplomatic and commercial ties between U.S. and China. NSA Robert O'Brien feels that under the current circumstances, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's review will not be favorable to China.
With the 1992 Hong Kong Policy Act, the 2019 Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act, both require the Secretary of State to certify that Hong Kong maintains a high degree of autonomy. And I don't think it's going to be, under the current circumstances, especially if the law is passed, it's hard to see how Secretary Pompeo could make that certification. If he fails to make that certification, there are consequences that come with it, sanctions and others.
Revoking Hong Kong's special status would be a big blow to the city. More than 1,300 American companies have established operations in Hong Kong. U.S. investment in Hong Kong stands at $82 billion, and bilateral trade accounts for nearly $67 billion annually. Currently, Hong Kong is treated as a separate entity from mainland China. But if the special status is revoked, it could be the end of luxuries like visa-free travel and low tariffs. Tensions between Washington and Beijing have also cast a shadow over the trade deal between U.S. and China. Phase 1 of the deal has already been signed. China has vowed to uphold its obligations as part of the agreement, but further progress on this front appears unlikely.